Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a really yummy chicken spaghetti using pantry ingredients. This goes along with some Asian style crispy chicken cutlets as well as some coleslaw on the side. Most of the ingredients are pantry ingredients which you can shop for ahead of time. So let's get started. So first up, we're going to start on our mini chicken cutlets. For this you need 300 grams of boneless chicken breast or tenderloins cut up into small bite-sized people. I meant to say pieces, not people. To this, I've added 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, 2 tablespoons of either liquid meat tenderizer or you can use Chinese cooking wine, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 egg. And please note that I have doubled the recipe for the chicken cutlets in this video because my kids like to help themselves to more. So rub all the ingredients into the chicken and put this in the fridge for at least an hour. Spaghetti sauce time. For this we have our sofrito ingredients as well as the pantry ingredients that you see here. So sofrito is an aromatic mix of diced onions, carrots and celery which is gently cooked. For this we have 1 yellow onion, a 1/4 cup of carrot and a 1/4 cup of celery. All of them have been diced. We have 300 grams of minced chicken here. Since we're making chicken spaghetti, you can substitute this with minced beef as well. So to a non-stick pot, add 1.5 tablespoons butter along with 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the butter is melted, add the diced onion and saute for 30 seconds. Follow this with the diced celery and carrot. Saute for another 30 seconds. Next, we're going to add the minced chicken and stir vigorously to break it up into the mixture. Stir and cook till the juices are sealed and the pink color of the minced chicken changes into a uniform white color. So while that's the situation on the stovetop, I'm going to slice up some canned mushrooms. Now you see the chicken mince has changed uniformly white. I'm going to add in those sliced canned mushrooms now. Now you can use fresh mushrooms, but I find that for this pantry recipe, the canned mushrooms work quite well. Just stir that through and then we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of full fat milk as well as 2 bay leaves and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So we're just going to let this simmer very briefly. Meanwhile, I'm going to chop up some fresh rosemary here along with some garlic. We also have some dried thyme and parsley on the side. So that milk has simmered for just a while. To this we're going to add 1 can, 14-ounce can of diced fire roasted or stewed tomatoes. I really like to add the fire roasted diced tomatoes to this sauce because it adds great flavor. So that's a 14-ounce can there. You can see the fire roasted tomatoes have that charred look and the charred aroma is going to be added into the sauce. To this we're also going to add a 14-ounce can of tomato puree as well. Mix this all together and bring to a simmer once again, gently mashing those canned tomatoes. To this we're going to add 1 beef bouillon cube. This is to add flavor. It is optional, as well as a teaspoon of mushroom seasoning granules. I love the flavor of this in my spaghetti sauce. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it. The mushroom seasoning does contain salt, so we don't have to add too much of extra salt here. We're also going to add 2 large cloves of garlic as well as 1.5 tablespoons of freshly chopped rosemary. Mix that in and then we can add 1 cup of apple juice. This is unsweetened apple juice from a box. Traditionally you can use white wine, but I'm not using that here. Next we're going to add some dried herbs. For this we have a 1/4 teaspoon of Italian herb mix as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of parsley and a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. We also have a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix this through. So at this point you can do a taste test and add more salt to taste, or in this case I'm adding more of that mushroom seasoning powder, as well as 3/4 of a cup of baked beans and tomato sauce. Using canned baked beans and tomato sauce here, and we're not using the entire can, just 3/4 of a cup will do. This adds a nice balance of sweetness and more flavor from the herbs and spices included in the baked beans, as well as some texture. Cover this and simmer on the lowest, gentlest simmer for 1 hour. Meanwhile, we can make some quick coleslaw. The cold coleslaw goes really well with that warm spaghetti. We have 200 grams of cabbage as well as 1 small carrot. Peel the carrot and chop it up, and we're going to add it to a small chopper. Pulse till you get a coleslaw texture. Add the cabbage in batches and chop it up all together. You don't want to chop it up too finely. To this, we're going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Add a little bit more mayonnaise just to make it creamy enough, as well as 3/4 of a tablespoon of distilled white vinegar, as well as 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Add just a little bit of water, like 1 tablespoon, and mix it through. You can add a little bit more water if you need to, and add salt to taste, about 1/2 teaspoon. Keep this refrigerated till it's ready to serve. So around about halfway through cooking the spaghetti sauce, we can remove the marinated chicken from the fridge and allow that to come down to room temperature. Meanwhile, we can cook 500 grams of spaghetti. Just follow the package instructions in salted boiled water. And back to the chicken cutlets, we have 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1 cup of plain flour. I've added some salt and pepper to the plain flour. Just mix that through, and once the chicken has come down to room temperature, we're going to dredge the chicken pieces in the plain flour first. Just make sure those pieces are coated very nicely. And then we're going to take each one of these and put it back into that marinade to get it coated with the juices, and then straight into the breadcrumbs. Coat each piece really well for the chicken cutlets. And I've heated up some oil to deep fry, and we're going to deep fry this in batches. Deep fry on a moderate heat till the chicken cutlets turn a nice light golden brown. You can check one piece to see if it's done. As you can see, it's crispy on the outside, but it stays nice and moist on the inside because of that special marinade. And our spaghetti is nicely cooked till al dente. I've drained it, and we've added a knob of butter. Just mix that through. And after 1 hour of simmering that lovely spaghetti sauce, it's ready. And I did lose a clip there. What I did was I added the spaghetti sauce to the drained spaghetti and mixed it through really nicely. And guys, if you have liquid smoke, add just a drop to the spaghetti sauce before mixing it in with the spaghetti. I love the flavor of that and the aroma, but it's totally optional. So the spaghetti is done, and our crispy chicken cutlets are done. As soon as they are fried, sprinkle some salt and a little bit of paprika or mild chili powder. We really like that. Time to plate it. So we have our hot spaghetti, and to this we're going to add those crispy Asian chicken cutlets on the side, as well as that cold, creamy coleslaw. Garnish with some fresh basil, and you have a delicious homemade spaghetti meal, a pantry spaghetti meal with Asian-style chicken cutlets and coleslaw. I hope you try the recipe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.